Hello everyone, this is Shayna. Today is July 20th of 2018. Today it has been 1 year, a whole year, 365 days since we lost Linkin Park's Chester Bennington. If you haven't seen my previous video, I uploaded a video earlier today of myself reacting that it finally just really sunk in. Like, it really, really sunk in, and I just, knowing that it's been a year since he's gone, it's still very surreal. It's still unbelievable, but at the same time, it's there. Like, there's no way around it that he's not coming back. It even hurts to even say that, but I can no longer play pretend. And I did cry in that video, and it was only just now that I was able to. It was only just now, or maybe 2 minutes ago, that I was able to pick up my phone to record and try to do this video that I promised without having a very horrible mess of tears. Not that I care if I do, but I want to also to be coherent with my thought process and to you guys, because I'm sharing it to the public. I'm opening up, I'm doing a little open heart surgery in a sense where I open up everything to all you guys and sharing my story about my thoughts about Chester's death. Now, this vlog does contain suicide mention, mental illness mention, depression, death mention, and if you are triggered by any of it, then this video is probably not for you. So, I want to start off by talking about what I remember, what has happened a year ago in my experience with Chester. First of all, before I start that, I want to start off by saying that I've been a Linkin Park fan, I don't want to say from the very beginning, but I have been a Linkin Park fan probably since my preteen years. Since then, and I'm gonna make the record clear and show that I'm not one of those fans that only like Meteora or Hybrid Theory and then cut it off right there. No, I like all of their work. I think all of their work is amazing, and I feel like I'm very loyal to a lot of my bands that I like. I'm very loyal. And apparently there's controversy in the fan base of Linkin Park where they say, oh, they were so good when they did Hybrid Theory, when they did Meteora. And I'm just thinking, they had other great albums, you know, that creep out of the darkness, that show empowerment, encouragement, that's even helped me many a time. But I'm gonna get to that later. I've been a fan since I was 10, 11, 12 years old, around that age group. And I remember listening to them in middle school, and it was I don't want to say it was popular. Well, at the time, they were very, very popular, and I really liked them. I really liked them because I love the sound, I love the lyrics, and it was just really something that I've been looking for. One year ago, I remember it was a day just like any other. And I'm not saying this to be dramatic or anything, but it was just like any other day. It was a Thursday. Now, I go to an art studio program for advanced artists for adults with special needs where we create our work and we sell it and we become artists, and that's our career. And we in my group, every Thursday we would go on an outing to certain areas that pertain to art to inspire us for our future projects. I was in We took a drive to Pasadena, California, and it's a beautiful area. The buildings were beautiful. We went to this old library, the old Pasadena library, and I remember looking at a lot of the books and a lot of the artwork, and I was feeling very inspired by it all. Come lunchtime, I had my phone off, so I, because it's work time, I'm not supposed to have my phone on me, and I had my phone off, and it was lunchtime, and I turned my phone back on, and normally, I'm pretty sure everyone has been there before. When they turn on their phone, as soon as it's all turned on and all set, they get lots and lots of messages, notifications, missed phone calls, all that stuff, messages. And I know I said messages twice. I've been crying all day. I am lucky to even finish my thought process, so just bear with me. And I turned on my phone. The first thing that I saw was a notification of a news article. Because I am a fan of Linkin Park, I guess I subscribed to some sort of news feed or something, and the very first thing was an article stating that it has been official that Chester Bennington has died that day by suicide. And at first, my initial reaction was I panicked. I really panicked. Because I was thinking, no, that can't be true. That's not happening. So, while my heart was I felt my heart drop. I felt it drop. I felt it in my throat. I felt it going everywhere. My head was running in circles. While I was checking my phone, checking articles, checking Snopes, checking everything. And it had confirmed that it was true that Chester Bennington, the man behind, one of the 6 men behind the music, the band that has helped me out through so many situations that I never thought I could make it out of, he was gone. And I remembered I wanted so badly to just fall on my knees on the floor and just punch the ground and say, why? How could this happen? And I know that I am going to cry throughout this video, and I'm not even going to apologize for that because this is how I feel. I am not going to apologize for how I feel. I wanted to just scream to the heavens. I wanted to cry. I wanted to just scream. But I couldn't because I had to keep my composure. Throughout the whole day in Pasadena, we had to walk around, and I was forced to shove everything down. Everything down. Because I was in public, and apparently you're not supposed to have a meltdown in public. Or a breakdown, or anything. And yes, that was my anger shooting out. Because I was angry at the time that I couldn't express how I feel. And I'm still angry about it. I was angry, I was sad. Because I wanted so bad to just unleash it somehow. And a couple hours later, that's how long I've held it in. I've held it in a couple hours later when I was boarding my transportation to get home. I remembered just busting into tears. And I just kept saying over and over, he's gone, he's gone, he's gone. And I remember calling my mom because I was just so inconsolable that the only thing I could think of was to call my mom to at least help me calm down, to at least, I needed someone to talk to. And the only person I could think of at the time was my mother. I called my mom and I was just sobbing and sobbing, saying, he's gone, he's gone, he's gone. It was just so heartbreaking. It was and the thing that was really heartbreaking was just months before, I went through a very painful loss. One of my friends, her name was Liz, and she was going through a very rough time the last time I talked to her. And I wanted so badly to reach out and to talk with her. I remember our last conversation, which was 2 days before she died. When she died, Linkin Park was the medicine that I took to help me get through the loss, because it was a very painful loss. Even to this day, I still could never forgive myself for not going through with plans of hanging out with her. And that day, the day that Chester died, that day I was actually thinking that maybe it's time to let go, to learn to accept that I'm gonna have to live life without her, and to just keep on going and try to heal. And then all of a sudden, Chester passes away, and it plunged me into a deep, dark abyss that for the next year, I've been stuck in that abyss. And I'm not sure if I'm just barely crawling out or if I'm still there. I just don't know. Face is really itchy. And I know this is going to be a long video because I want to get out everything that I've held in. I want to get out everything. The next few days were not very easy. I felt so empty. I felt it was unreal. Everywhere I went, there was news about him. Everywhere I went, everywhere I go, everywhere on my phone, social media. if there was not no if there wasn't anyone mourning for Chester Bennington, there are people who are just bashing him or just saying a lot of awful things about him, like, you know, like the stigmas of suicide and mental health, saying that what he did was a very what he did was very selfish, that he had a wife and 6 kids, and I even had someone tell me that he had no reason to be depressed. He's got a wife, 6 kids, he's in a band, he has no reason to do that, he's selfish, he's a coward. And that really upset me. And I've had people tell me that. And I am in no way trying to romanticize suicide in any way whatsoever. I am not. I am pained that he's gone. I am sad, angry. Not so much angry at him, but angry at the fact that, you could only fight for so long. And, I mean, I don't want to get riled up in the moment again. I don't want to get riled up. And I know I keep flipping my hair in this video. It's kind of like a nervous tick that I seem to have developed every time I film or every time I talk to someone. It was very hard because I want to remember him and honor him for the positive things that he's done, what his band has done for me. I remember before I met my boyfriend late last year, my previous boyfriend broke up with me in the worst possible way, and I'm not going to go into detail of that for reasons of privacy. But Linkin Park was there to understand my anger, to help me channel my anger through music, through listening and understanding lyrics. And it wasn't just their Hybrid Theory, Meteora stuff. No, it was not just that. Yes, it was, but there are other albums, such as Living Things and 1,000 Suns. Their albums have helped me through it. Like songs like Leave Out All the Rest and Iridescent, The Messenger, Waiting for the End. Those songs have helped me through so much in college and also through the breakup. Whenever I would get scared, have anxiety, those albums raised me up. And to help me become a stronger and better person. And I'm eternally grateful for them, for that, for giving me the strength, for giving me the power to pull through. When all I want to do is just throw in the towel and call it quits. I felt like that those lyrics was the message that they're not giving up on me, so I shouldn't either. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to gather my thought process. What was I gonna say? I remember a friend of mine, I've met someone 6 years ago. I met someone through YouTube. She's the most amazing person in the world. And she made me really understand what music and Linkin Park and coming together as a community was all about. Her name was Cindy, aka Stream of Awareness. When she did her cover of Iridescent from Linkin Park, it really helped me. It really helped me. Just gather up and acknowledging all the bad shit that has happened to me and move on from it, letting it go, acknowledging that it happened, and to bandage myself up, to heal myself, to sew up my wounds, to bandage them up, to heal them, to nurture them, and just get back up and keep going. And the thing about Linkin Park to me is that they have done so much great things. I've seen a lot of their videos where they're just goofing off, and I just think that they're like friends that I've never even met. Like, in a sense that it brings me comfort to know that every time I'm in a bad mood, every time I just want to escape, whether if it's 10 minutes, 6 minutes, whatever, how many minutes, that I have the option of going on YouTube and seeing all their funny shenanigans that they get into and everything. And I'm just thinking, that's my band. That's my band. Green Day did the same thing too. And it's a small wonder why these guys are loved so much. And Chester, I really felt like I've always had a Chester in me because he's very goofy and his sense of humor is very much like mine, in a sense that his just random goofiness and that will always be dear to my heart because I thrive on comedy. I thrive on humor. And he always has this bright, goofy smile on his face that just makes me feel like everything is okay with the world. That you're gonna be okay. No matter what you're going through, you're gonna be okay. And that was what I got from it. I'm not gonna say that, I don't wanna say and have people take it the wrong way that Chester's passing has left things behind for a positive change. I really don't want to say that or word it wrong, but what I do want to say is that now there's more. Now people are not, I'm sorry. It is hot and sleep deprived, and I'm trying my best here, so. What I really want to say is that the stigma of mental illness, the stigma of suicidal ideation, we're getting a better understanding of it, and now there's more awareness. In a sense, I have a lot of mixed feelings about it. At first, I was very angry, thinking it took Chester Bennington's death for us to finally get our heads out of our asses and finally doing something about it. But at the same time, I'm very grateful that we're all doing this now because we don't want another life to go. Because hurting yourself and suicide is not the answer. It never is. It never is. Even though it does seem like it's the end, it's not. And yes, it's true. To quote one of their songs, the hardest part of ending is starting again. And that's true. You have to pick up the pieces and you're wondering where to begin, where to go from there. And you just have to just start things all over. And I feel like that's what Mike Shinoda had to do with his album Post Traumatic. I've yet to listen to it, but I will listen to it when I'm good and ready. My heart goes out to to Linda, all of his 6 children, to the rest of the band, to all of Chester's family, friends, loved ones, everybody. And I want to let you know that there is help out there for you. There is. And that whatever you're going through right now, know that you are loved. You always will be loved. And you matter. You matter. Over in the background, you'll see my bear. I named him Chester Bear because when I got him, his smile just reminded me of Chester's smile. Like I could almost see Chester's face on it every time I look at the bear. Because you could just almost see that twinkle in his eye, just like Chester did. Chester had. You can almost see the twinkle in his eye that Chester has. And that's why he's called Chester Bear. A very dear friend of mine and mentor gave him to me. And my first reaction when I saw the bear was, Chester. And that's my source of comfort. Where do I go from here? That is a very tough question. Thing is, I don't know where to go from here other than to just take it day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute, and just see where I go. But I know for one thing, I want to make Chester proud. And that's why I want to say that us as Linkin Park fans, I feel that right now is the time to put all of our differences aside. I don't care if you're saying, oh, I like their early work better, or I didn't like One More Light too much. No, none of that. It's time to put those things aside and come together, because we as a society are our brothers and sisters' keepers. And also check on your loved ones, check on your friends. If you see someone going through a hard time, don't hesitate to say, I'm here for you, I'm listening, you can count on me. Because that can mean the world to that person. When life leaves us blind, love keeps us kind. And that's and I'm pretty damn sure that that's the legacy that Chester would have wanted us to all to remember. And I feel that by doing so, that's what's making him proud. And who does care if One More Light goes out? We all do, Chester. We all do. I want to show you guys something. Some of you might have seen it on my social media. Some of my friends have seen me wearing it. This here is a custom-made necklace of Chester Bennington that my group home manager got for me from Etsy. I'm trying to... And I wear it. Sometimes I take it with me in the little fancy pouch it came in. And I take it with me almost everywhere I go to give me a sense that he's watching over me, watching over us all. And that he's still here with us. I'm asking you guys to be there for each other. All Linkin Park fans, any other fans, whether if you're a hardcore fan or you just like the band, we're all fans of Linkin Park. And to put our differences aside and come together knowing that you're not alone. There is help. come together. This was given to me today from one of my coworkers at work that knows how much Chester meant to me. Chester meant a lot of things to me. He was the light at the end of my tunnel. He was basically part of my whole world. And a few days after his passing, I've written something that I promised that I would share. And I've written it on the back of this paper. And I'm going to share it to you. It's a poem that I've written called Requiem for Chester Bennington. You were there for me when I was just discovering my love for music and rock. You and your band, your music and your voice were my only friend when the world turned its back on me. You were there for me when anger, hatred, and sorrow filled my heart and slowly but gently emptied it. You were there for us when our bodies and brains began to change as we were growing up to be a shoulder to lean on. You were there for me when the sharp harpoons and blades of bullying and abuse would leave me bleeding. Your voice would be the lyrical tourniquets and sutures my soul needed. Iridescent was when you removed the stitches of my pain to help me heal. You were there on lonely, sleepless nights when anxiety would grab me by the throat. You raised me up and gave me strength when others tried to knock me down. Your voice was the medicine to all of us who needed it. You were my angel whose voice held me safely in your arms while I shed a million tears for all the pain I've endured. You were the light at the end of the tunnel when things looked blackest. You gave me hope for a better world and a better future. We weep because your pain won and took you. We mourn because too many you are gone, but you're not. I believe you are watching us all as we cry. I believe somehow you are still with us inside. You are a hero and a soldier to many in a battle that cannot be fought alone. We loved you for that, and we always will. Rest well, my angel. Watch over us all. We pray you are at peace. Your legacy shall live on, as long as our memory of you is kept alive. I love you. My final thought about all this is every year, July 20th is probably most likely going to be extremely hard, not just for me, but I'm pretty sure to millions of other fans. Because to me, and to many other fans, it was the day that the world stopped turning. But I'm very proud of Talinda, his wife Talinda, made this movement that we are the change, to change the stigma of mental health, to change people's way of thinking, to get more awareness of mental health so we can help other people. And Chester, if you're listening to this or watching over, know that you are loved. You always will be until the end of time. We love you and we miss you. And to everyone out there who is struggling or suffering, know that I love you. You matter. Your voice matters. Your feelings matter. Everything about you matters. You are loved. You always will be, and there is help. Don't hesitate to reach out. It's okay to not be okay. And there's the funny thing about grief is we fight hard in many different ways. We fight hard to hold on. We fight hard to let go. We fight hard to move on. But what I want to say to you is keep fighting. There will be bumps in the road, and that's okay. That's okay. Because that's just being human. And there's no time limit for grief. It has no limit, no time limit. It has no correct way of going. Yes, there's the 5 stages of grief, but they don't always have to go in order. You don't always have to go through the same order. You might skip a few stages, you might relapse back, and that's okay. But know that all of you out there, remember you're loved, and you always will be. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other. We love you, Chester Bennington. Rest well until we meet again.